Beef. G'day, Stu from UAVfutures here, and today a bit of a dream. How many of you people out there, you want HD footage, you love flying your 3 inches, but you can't really combine the two because in the past, 3 inches, although they can carry a GoPro, they don't excel at it. We've had things like the RunCam Mini, Micro, whatever it is. I'll link a video to that somewhere up here as well. But this time, I've got to take my hat off to Caddx because they've got a 1080p 60 frame recorder FPV camera that doubles as your HD video, and what I really like about it, it's in one tiny little stack. So that means if you are space conscious, and a lot of these 3-inch or under builds really are, something like this, you're going to be able to rip around and still get some crazy good HD footage. At least that's the plan. So what we're going to do, we're going to very quickly stick it on the bench. I'm going to show you how I crammed it into my build right here. If you want to see the full text and specs, I'll link that down below, and also you can look at this little still that should pop up on the screen, because to be honest, that stuff, you know, the voltage input, the recording rate, all that sort of stuff, okay, there it is, pause that, go watch that. The real deal for me is, how does it perform, how does it fit in my craft, and is it worth it to upgrade and put some of these things in my craft so I can get some good HD in my 3-inch. Anyway, enough rambling, stick it on the bench, then let's go out and test it and have some fun. Alrighty, here it is, I guess, in the 3-inch massive droner, when size really does matter, and that's what I love about the Caddx board. You know, it is one small board sort of camera solution. I know the split, the micro split or the mini split, whatever, with the 2 stacks, that made it a lot more difficult to put into your builds, but now we've got a 1080 at 60 frames per second in one little board stack. So you can see it just fits in a little craft like this, and it's not even going to fit in something like an XJB. So I'm really excited to have this little craft because Cal is flying 3 inches all the time. I love to fly the 3 inches as well, but I really do miss those HD recordings. But something like this, it's going to go a long way. So you can see I've got access. You've got the one button to start and stop on the side. It didn't come with a manual or anything like that, and I've got access to my SD card around the other side. It doesn't have a ribbon cable, it's just got lots of little cables. I put a little rubber band around there because they are actually quite long. You can take a fairly big voltage, you just hook it straight up, and then, you know, you're ready to rock and roll. It's very simple. If you can solder in a normal camera, you can solder in one of these. Now it is the 20x20 sort of mounting size, which I really like, but there is one strange little hole off to the side here, and you might be thinking, Stuart, what is that? Because, you know, most of these are 20x20, that's not going to fit. And the reason is because the diagonal across those is actually 35, which means you can still mount it on boards like this. So you would have the distance between here is exactly what it is in a diagonal. Maybe you do want to mount it in the back, you still can span the board across 2 of these on the diagonal on one of the largest. Anyway, that's the boring stuff. That's not what I'm excited about. What I want to do, let's go out to the field, fly it around and show you some HD footage in a little 3-inch, you know, it's not weighing too much more whatsoever, and find out, is this going to be a great little recording solution for everybody out there who loves 3-inch, they want HD, but they also can't put a GoPro on there. So let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Rightio, let's do it. Let's go have some fun. We're going to skate out to a little spot that I've been wanting to hit up for a little while. The weather actually has turned it on. Finally, like the best day in all the months. So let's do it. Go have some fun and check out this new camera. Alrighty. Okie dokie, here we go. You gotta love going for a skate and fly. A lot of fun, especially when the weather turns it on, but you can see pointing right at the sun. And the first thing I notice is I really do think the colors look quite nice. I don't think they're quite as nice as a GoPro. I think a GoPro, this would say this footage looks a little bit flatter, but overall I am a huge fan. And I know the comments are going to light up with discussions and people, some very big GoPro fans, and everybody's got the best Pro Tune setting, all that sort of stuff. But for me, all I'm interested in is it doesn't have to be better than a GoPro. Can I still get some good HD recordings on a craft that typically can't get that sort of footage? And I've got to say, with this system, yes, you definitely can. I'm a huge fan, especially strapping it to a little 3-inch like this. There's so many times when I want to race Cal, he's on his XJB, I'm using one of my 3 inches, and I think, gee, this would be so much more fun if I could show my viewers this and get them some HD footage, because previously I've only had DVR really on the 3 inches, but a system like this, it really does its job well. Now there's no audio and it does have some limitations, you know, only at 1080p 60 frames per second, but overall I'm sure a lot of pilots out there, they've got little crafts, they like the HD footage a lot more than the DVR, and a system like this is going to make people very happy, especially because it's so light in weight as well.
Now here we go with some DVR, and I don't think the colors are quite popping quite as much as I would like as well. And also I did find ghost branches very, very hard to see. So places you thought was clear, you know, and it might not be the perfect environment for it, but I felt like ghost branches were a little bit more ghosty than usual when I was using this camera. So that's something to be mindful of as well. I don't think it's going to be suited for those hardcore racers because I don't think the detail is quite as good, but it is a sacrifice I'm willing to make if I want to get some HD footage and also when I'm using a 3-inch like that. But I'd love to know what you guys think. You know, would it be good enough for you to fly around? What do you think about the colors? Do you think there's a better solution out there, or how do you get your HD footage when it comes to some of these little 3-inch drones? So anyway, I had a lot of fun with it, and this is the best solution I think we've got at the moment for these tiny little crafts.
Alrighty, so there it is. There's my review of Caddx's little system, the HD FPV combo sort of split turtlet, whatever it is. It's linked down below. But overall, I'm a huge fan. I love what this thing is trying to do. How many of you out there, you've got a 3-inch, you don't like putting your GoPro on there because then it flies like a school bus. It's very, very heavy, but you do want to get that nice juicy HD footage. I know all the time for me, when I'm racing Cal, he's flying around his XJBs, I would love to record some of the battles we have because he is really, really quick on those, flying them around. This thing, that's going to let me do it. So I know this is filling a market that's out there. It's filling a need that us pilots want of the little crafts. We want something small we can put in. It's not too heavy. It's also very, very space conscious because those things, weight and space, are an absolute premium when it comes to these 3-inch size racing drones. And also, you want some good HD footage out there. So I'm a huge fan. It does come with some little extras as well, some little brace plates, a little mounting bracket, an OSD option, whole little screws, all that sort of boring stuff. But you can find that on the link. For me, it was all about how does the HD footage look. Now I should say too, is it perfect? No, it does have some limitations. It doesn't look as good as the GoPro. Its HD footage looks a little bit flatter, the colors aren't quite as nice. It was more difficult to see those ghost branches, and if you've got to put this on every single one of your crafts, if you maybe had a large fleet, it would get a little bit pricey if you're putting it in every single one. Oh, and it doesn't record any audio. But if you can look past those things, you want a HD recorder, something that's lightweight, compact, and is going to fit in your 3 inches, this I really think is the best solution that we've got. Anyway, what do you guys think? Drop your comments down below, subscribe for more FPV related content, and as always, happy flying!
Alrighty, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Definitely subscribe if you're new to the channel and check out these videos. And I'm also going to leave a little link here to my Patreon page because I've got some fantastic Patreon supporters and I like to give back to them as well. So if you want to join the UAVfutures family, there's things like bonus Velcro straps, little bundles of FPV goodies and things like that that also get sent out. Anyway, happy flying!